Winner First Things First. I'm Jenna Wolf alongside Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wilds. Brandon Marshall, if this happened to you, would you accept an apology from Patrick Beverley?
Oh, Jenna, I'm a flowers guy. I like flowers with my apology. So if he apologized and also gave me flowers, absolutely, 100%.
If that happened to Brandon, Patrick Beverley would be in the hospital. There'd be no apology. There would be an arrest.
Hold me back. Hold me back, Nick. Hold me back.
We'll get to his apology in a little bit. We got to start, though, with some Bucks-Hawks Game 5 last night. No Trae Young for Atlanta. No Giannis for the Bucks. Only one team had no problem with those gaping holes, and that would be Milwaukee. How about that whole starting lineup stepping up? How about one of the starters, Brook Lopez, pouring in a playoff career high, wait for it, 33 points from Brook Lopez. He wasn't the only one, though. Bobby Portis, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton also chipping in 20-plus. A very well-balanced attack last night, giving the Bucks the big win, giving them the 3-2 series lead over the Atlanta Hawks. Here is Brook Lopez after the win.
Maybe.
Well, I had a great game.
Brook Lopez's big night. He did have a big. Oh, you're being Brook Lopez?
I shot the ball in the center of 7-5.
So obviously Brook had a big night, and he had to have a big night because that guy, Giannis, was once again not in the lineup. So the latest on him reports are he has, quote, a gulf to make up in his rehab ahead of Game 6, so they might need to rely on Brook Lopez yet again. But, Nick, how should Bucks fans feel this morning after winning Game 5 without Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Well, Jenna, they should feel a hell of a lot better than Brook Lopez because that was his one and only chance to ever get a press conference played on a show, and now it's gone. Sorry, Brook. That was it. Been in the league a decade. We were finally going to hear what your voice sounds like. Now it's gone. See you later, Brook. See you the next time you score 30 points in the playoffs, probably be never. Bucks fans should feel pretty damn good.
Why?
Because here's what they bought yesterday. Time. Do you think the Bucks can win one of the next two against Atlanta without Giannis? Because Giannis, I don't care what the Bucks are, publicly saying. There is a 0% chance Giannis is back in this series. With the win last night and with Drew Holiday finally this postseason looking like the guy they traded a small king's ransom for, you've got to feel like, Brandon, they can win one of the next two without Giannis.
Right.
And then you look to the finals and you say, okay, Phoenix has home court. So we're supposed to lose those first two games of the finals either way. Let's look at the first three games of the finals. Could we potentially be down 2-1? Could we steal one victory in game 1, 2, or 3 without Giannis? Maybe. And now all of a sudden you could have close to 2 weeks to get him back for the stretch run of the finals. And all of a sudden your championship hopes are alive. Because as good as the Bucks looked yesterday, Brandon, they cannot win 4 out of 7 against Phoenix without Giannis. Right. But if they get there and if they stay alive, if they just hang around, then all of a sudden you got a chance. And so we got the news yesterday or day before yesterday that Giannis's knee, there were no ligament damage. It's still a bad injury, but it's not going to need surgery.
No structural damage.
So that was good news. Then they played great last night. The fact that they're even talking about him for Game 6, even though I think that can be dismissed, means the finals are a real possibility.
Right.
So I think Bucks fans should feel pretty damn good this morning.
Yeah, I mean, they should be celebrating. For them to sneak away with a win that way, they should feel really good. Not only the win, Nick, but how they did it. Am I reading this right, Jenna? Did you read that correctly? Was that graphic right? We're talking about Middleton, 26 points, Lopez, 33, Portis, 22,
starters with 20
and Holiday,
points.
25. What? Are you kidding me? How they did it. Total control. We've been talking about, all playoffs. The Suns are the most complete team, most balanced team. But hell, last night, that was pure mastery. So they should feel really good about that. And, Nick, you are right. Yesterday you were just talking about Drew Holiday stepping up. Like, where are you? They gave you everything. Not only did they give up stuff, but they gave you the big bag. So that's how you tell the team and the organization, thank you for, coming to get me and also giving me the big bag. So, Wilds, I think they should feel good, because when you don't have the Greek Freak, that's an easy 30, 10 rebounds, maybe 15 rebounds a night, and some entertainment from the free throw line, right? So not only are you missing the production, but you're missing the entertainment, right? Like, is it 10 seconds? Is it 12 seconds? Is it 13 seconds? So, no, they should feel good, Wilds.
I agree. I think Bucks fans should feel good. I'm happy for Lopez. I'm happy for Bobby Portis. I'm happy for Drew Holiday. Maybe he gets out of his funk a little bit. Although he had 33 earlier in the series, he felt like he was more aggressive. Chris Middleton, a little starring roles, happy for him. But you know what, Nick? No one should be as happy as Suns fans, because watching that game, like, we are going to roll this team. This is going to be Suns in 4 without the fight, because that team is just terrible. I'm sorry. They're like, oh, I know we want to give the Bucks their flowers. We got to say flowers every show. But that team is not good. And it's hard as a basketball fan to sort of thread the needle by being optimistic and liking the product and just being like, this game was, I think Simmons referred to it as a blah fest. And look, just outside of that game, the Bucks are 7-5 without Giannis. They're just not a quality squad. So I think you nailed it on the head. They just need a lot. I'm just being honest. You got me Debbie honest. So it's just someone's got to say it. The product last night was not great. Go.
Oh, yeah, listen, both teams were without their best player. I understand that. But we have seen in these playoffs a bunch of instances of a team being without its star guy and on a singular night outplaying a more whole team. You can go to the final 2 games for the Clippers against the Jazz. Now, part of that was because Quinn Snyder's coaching. I understand that. But you can also go to the way the Hawks played in the first half of Game 4 against the Bucks without Trey. The other element to this, Brandon, and you mentioned him, but I want to kind of zoom in on it. Chris Middleton has had 3 games this postseason where he has scored at least 35 points. Trae Young is the most with 5. There's a handful of guys with 4 that have all been eliminated from the playoffs, by the way, like Luka, Embiid, and KD. And then there's Chris Middleton. So if you're the Bucks, you're just saying to yourself, all right, assuming they win one of the next 2, can Chris Middleton have 1 great game in the first 3 games against Phoenix? If he can, then all of a sudden,
statistics say yes.
Be down 2-1. Yeah, and I think he could. I think the Bucks, if Giannis can come back at some point, Brandon, I think the Bucks are very alive.
Yeah, but Chris Middleton, we don't know. He has to do his job, right? And statistics say the trend is showing that he's going to have a really good game, maybe 2 really good games. There's going to be a game where it just looks like he just takes off. He's the most confusing NBA player I think I've ever seen. Like, this dude is really good. We talked about him and Shaq. We weren't comparing him to Kobe, but just just how these 2 guys stack up to what Shaq and Kobe was doing, the roles. But, when you look at his game, we're talking about pure butter. And Wilds, I'm sorry, man, before we go, I got to get on you. Last night I was at overtime. They had a basketball game at Florida Memorial, right? And so all these basketball legends are walking up to me. They're like, "Oh man, that buddy, that guy Wilds you're on the show with, he's amazing. This dude has done some amazing things in production and then in the game of basketball." And then all of a sudden, you come on here and be Debbie Downer talking about the game and the product. That was a good game. Man, you had almost all of their starters go for 20-plus points, and you're going to come on here this morning and be Debbie Downer? Come on, man.
I demand excellence.
Take my flowers back from
here's the only reason. I didn't mean to be too negative. Here's the weird part about it, and Nick, help me out, because I want to be optimistic. It's the first conference finals game when I was almost exclusively thinking about the Suns. I didn't think that either of these teams really felt like they were a quality enough team
Yeah, they're not.
to be in the Eastern
They're
Conference
not
Finals. So I was
without-
trying